we got some news that's not breaking, obviously, because, everyone's heard about it. It happened hours ago. But obviously, we have to start the show off with the news that James Houston, a.k.a. The Problem, has been waived by the Detroit Lions. I gotta say that I'm a little bit surprised by this move. Because of the timing, because of the injuries. There hasn't been another roster move which was announced, but because he was waived, if he goes unclaimed, he can go back to the practice squad. I have a hard time believing that the Packers, Bears, nor Vikings will put in a waiver or won't put in a waiver claim. I have a hard time believing that because we know what James Houston can do. We know on 140 snaps in his rookie season, just 140 snaps, he produced 17 pressures and 8 sacks. He did all of that in 7 games. We know that he can do those things, and we know that if he returns to form on another team, it will be a problem because he's nicknamed the Problem. So why not, if you're the Bears, if you're the Packers, if you're the Vikings, why not claim him and have him be someone that can help you, legitimately help you sack the quarterback when you are playing the Lions? So I don't like the move. I really don't. I wish that if you were going to get rid of him, you would have traded him somewhere to the AFC. And they go, well, what was his trade value? A 7th round pick. I would trade a 7th round pick to some team that you're not going to play in the AFC. Like, I don't want to say the Cleveland Browns. I love James Houston. I don't wish being traded to Cleveland to anyone. Not anyone at all. Okay? But trade him to, I wouldn't say a contender in the AFC. Why? Because if it's a contender in the AFC, you never know how the ball will bounce. But the Detroit Lions are expected to be in the Super Bowl by most people. And we'll get to someone in a minute who doesn't expect that. And it's just getting quite pathetic. This guy just continues to go on and on about the Detroit Lions and how they're not a great team and blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. But so you don't want to send him to a contender just because you might have to see this contender in February. So you send him to the, I don't know, Raiders, so he can be over there with Max Crosby. Obviously, I didn't say that you were going to send him in a deal for Max Crosby. That wasn't going to happen. But you send him over there with the Raiders, not the Broncos. Like I said, the Raiders, not even the Jaguars. I don't want him to go to a really, really bad team with no hope of ever doing anything. I mean, the Raiders are going to Raider, but they have some ability. Like if they just get out their own way, they could come up at some point in the very near future during James Houston's career, right? But now, because you didn't send him anywhere at the trade deadline, what up, though, Lone Spoon? Good evening, Paul Thomas. What up, though? Because you didn't send him anywhere at the trade deadline. What's up, Justifan? You can't actually control where he goes. And I hope and pray that it is not to any of our NFC North division rivals. Because that would just suck. That would suck. And it would give him extra motivation. I'm sure he's appreciative of the Detroit Lions. I'm sure he's appreciative. based off of his college situation where he was at Florida. And then there was the whole thing with the credit card situation and him getting suspended. And then there was a new coaching regime and it's all of that. So then he had to transfer to Jackson State, which is, it's a junior college level. I'm not saying it's a junior college, but it's junior college level type of football, right? So he had to transfer there. He went off, got 19 sacks in a single season. And then the Detroit Lions took him in, I believe it was the 6th round. So I'm pretty sure that he's very thankful for the Lions for giving him a chance in the NFL. And they were patient with him, very patient with him. This is his 3rd season with the team. They cut him before and brought him back. And this is what we're hoping happens this time, that they've cut him and they'll be bringing him back because he went unclaimed on waivers. But why? Why Green Bay Packers? Why Chicago Bears? Why Minnesota Vikings? Would you not put in a claim? That's my thing. It's just so, don't think they should have done it now. I don't think they should have done it now. I really think that they should have just waited until the offseason. I know they probably want to put him on the practice squad, right? They probably do. But just to expose him to waivers at this point in the season when everyone is injured, I just didn't agree with the move. I didn't agree with how they handled him throughout the season. But I thought he was doing some good things. You know, he sold out and pooped his pants against the Houston Texans. He had a good game there. Dan Campbell praised him. He talked about all of this. So I really don't think it's a move where he just fell out of favor and they don't like the guy or anything of that nature. I just feel like it's a calculated move. They want to put him on the practice squad. They want to keep him. But there are rules, and since he's played a certain amount of games and he's been on the practice squad however many times, you can't just send him back to the practice squad without cutting him and exposing him to waivers first. So let's just hope and pray. Let's just hope and pray that the NFC North fell asleep and didn't hear about this news. Because like I said, if he does get picked up by one of those teams, yes, he may love the Lions. Yes, he may have a lot of respect and adoration for the Lions. And yes, he may be full of gratitude towards the Detroit Lions. However, extra motivation, because while I love you, you did punch me in the face. Right? It's just that kind of thing. So that is what happened with James Houston. And it's very, very unfortunate. So hopefully for us, it doesn't become a really, really unfortunate thing at the really, really wrong time. If you came for all the stats and none of the static, if you're trying to keep your Lions news pragmatic, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can get notified when the Motor City Cats are back at it. And plus, you know you can't get enough of the victory buffs.